Every time a small business misses a call, they're losing money. And that means a huge opportunity for you to start earning recurring high-ticket income as an AI consultant. Today, I'm going to show you a system where a missed call triggers an AI voice assistant that calls them back instantly, talks like a real person, and either books the lead or passes along a message with no humans required. This is the exact build that's replacing Go High Level's missed call text back, and it's one of the easiest high-ticket offers you'll ever sell. It's a $500 to $1,500 a month system that you can sell over and over again, and it practically sells itself. I help freelancers and consultants turn AI automations into high-ticket income. So if you're ready to do the same, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you stick around to the end, I'll show you how I'd package and pitch this to a real client, so your builds don't just rot in N8N forever. They actually start earning you recurring revenue. Now let's dive in. Even if you've never heard of Go High Level, here's the basic idea. When a business misses a call, it sends a generic text to the caller that says something like, "Sorry, I missed you. How can I help?" This is cute, but if a lead wants to talk to someone right now, they'll just go down the list and start calling competitors. This is a huge pain point in home services or businesses where the owner is the operator. So coaches, therapists, photographers. So instead of sending back a basic text, which the lead will probably just ignore, we have the missed call callback system. And here's how it works. The only thing that the business owner needs to do is turn on call forwarding on their phone. That's part of why this is such an easy sell, because there's virtually no effort on the part of the business owner. Once call forwarding is turned on, if they miss a call, the caller hears a quick voice message like this. "Hey, this is Lindsay. Sorry I missed you. I'm gonna have my assistant give you a call right now." And then seconds later, their phone rings. The AI voice agent is then able to book an appointment, answer general questions, or take a message and pass it on to the business owner via text, email, Slack, whatever. Now I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build it. So the first thing we need to do is come over to Twilio. And if you don't already have a Twilio number, you can come here to buy a number, and then just search by your country and your area code, and then just click buy. So once you have your number, the first thing we're going to do is create a Twiml bin. So we're going to scroll down to explore products, and then come here to Twiml bins. Now I've already got a couple set up, but this is how you create a new one. Just click the plus sign. We're going to give it a unique name, and then I'm going to just paste over what's in there, this response. So if you're wondering where I got this MP3 file from and what it is, I will show you. So what I did is I came to GitHub and created a new repository, and then just uploaded the MP3 file, which I just created on my phone, that says, "Hey, this is Lindsay. Sorry I missed you. I'm helping a customer. I'm going to have my assistant give you a call." And so this is the MP3 file in GitHub, and I am just going to right click and then grab copy link address. And then I'm just going to paste it back in my Twiml bin right here. And so what will happen is if somebody calls that number, which we're going to give that number to the business owner, they're going to turn on call forwarding and have all their calls, if they're in a meeting or out in the field or with another customer, they're going to have all their calls go to that number. So the first thing that the caller is going to hear is, "Hey, sorry I missed you. I'm going to have my assistant give you a call right back." Right? And we're going to see this green check mark to show that it's valid voice Twiml, and we're going to click create. Okay, so it was successfully created. What we're going to do is grab this URL right here. So we're going to copy this handler URL, and now we're going to scroll back up, and we're going to come down here to Twiml apps. I'm going to click this button that says create new Twiml app, and I'm going to call it audio greeting 2. And then all I need to do is paste that URL right here under voice configuration. All right, and then I'm going to click create. Okay, now I'm going to come back over here to active numbers, and I'm going to click on the phone number that I want to add this greeting to. Now, if I change this back to configure with webhook, Twiml bin, etc., then I'm going to have all of these different settings that I can configure, but we don't need that. So I'm going to click Twiml app, and that's going to allow us to configure our Twiml app, which will play that recording whenever anybody calls that phone number. Okay, and now I have a drop-down menu where I can select audio greeting 2, which is the Twiml bin that I just set up. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and click save. Okay, so let's give it a call and make sure that it works. "Hey, this is Lindsay. Sorry I missed you. I'm going to have my assistant give you a call right now." Okay, perfect. So now we know if we call the Twilio number directly that it's connected, we hear that greeting, and now we just need to connect it to the rest of the workflow. And this looks very simple. It's only 3 nodes, but it's super powerful. So the first node that we're going to add is the webhook, and it's going to be a post, and then just give it a simple path, like I have assistant abbreviated as ASST. And then for respond, we want to use using respond to webhook node. And this is super important because basically we want to make sure that if somebody calls the Twilio number, that it's not generating multiple calls. And so if Twilio doesn't know that the webhook has been received, it might continue to send post requests to the webhook, and we don't want to generate a bunch of different calls. And I have some test data in here because it's going to make it a lot easier for me to show you how we're going to map this. So let's go ahead and move on to the next node. All right, next we are going to send a HTTP request to Vapi. And before we dive into that, let me actually take you over to Vapi so you can see how we have that agent configured. This is Brenda, the missed call callback AI voice agent. And just a couple things that are different than inbound agents, which you might be used to, is number one, the assistant waits for the user to speak. So basically all that means is that the agent is not going to speak until the caller that we're returning their call answers the phone and says their hello or whatever their greeting is. And then as soon as the lead does answer the call and says hello, then Brenda is going to identify herself, say she's calling from XYZ business. How are you? So we have her system prompt in here, and the conversation flow goes like this. Hi, Lindsay asked me to give you a call because she's with another client. If the caller would like to leave a message with Lindsay, get their name and a brief message. If the caller is a job applicant or inquiring about hiring, get their name and a brief message and notify them that Lindsay will take a look as soon as she's available. And then if the caller would like to book an appointment, it breaks down the instructions step by step. And to be honest, this is extremely similar to the inbound agent that I've built before. You can watch that whole build right here and then just change the conversation flow to match whatever your use case is. And then if we scroll down, Brenda is also going to have access to the following tools. So Google Calendar tool, check availability tool, and then the call data to N8N, which she's going to send all of the structured data to N8N to our webhook that's going to be listening for it on the other side. Okay, so let's head back over to N8N and let's take a look at the HTTP request node. So this node is just pulled straight from the Vapi API documentation, but we're going to be sending a post request to this URL. We're going to send headers, and we're going to only send the authorization header as bearer, space, and then our API key. And then down below, we want to send the body as JSON using JSON. And then if I open this up and expand it, this is what the JSON looks like. So we are going to hard code the assistant ID in here. We're going to hard code the phone number ID. And then for the customer, we're going to use the phone number from the webhook. So if I scroll down under body, it's going to be this from phone number right here. So I just take the from phone number and drag it in between the two quotes. And now our JSON expression is good to go. And if you're wondering where to get the assistant ID and the phone number ID, we can find those in Vapi. So here is our missed call callback assistant. This is her ID right here. So we would just copy this. And then for the phone number ID, if we come over here to phone numbers, you can copy the phone number ID right up here in the top right-hand corner. And then back over in N8N, the last node is respond to webhook. So if we open that up, it's just going to be a response code of 200 for the first incoming item. And then this expression, which just lets Twilio know we've received the message successfully, you don't need to resend it. All right, the last step that we need to do is give the structured data somewhere to go. So after the call ends with the AI voice agent, we want to be able to collect the end of call report, all of the data that happened between the conversation with the AI voice agent and the lead. And so we're going to set up a second workflow that looks like this. So this is where the structured data is going to come in. And again, I do have some data pinned in here. So you can see just how powerful this is by your AI voice agent having a conversation with a human. But this is where you can add records to Airtable or send the information to your CRM or generate a message to the business owner that goes via SMS or email. But this is super customizable, super extensible, and very flexible. But let's dive into this webhook. So it's going to be a post, and this I just have it abbreviated as AST-call. And I'm actually going to change this to respond to webhook node. And let's go ahead and add that respond to webhook node at the end here. And we're going to add a response code of 200 to the first incoming item. I'm going to click save. And again, that's just so that Vapi doesn't keep resending the same payload over and over again and knows that we received the webhook. But let's say that we want to send a text message to the business owner to say, hey, you received a message, or somebody booked an appointment, or whatever the case is. We would just add a Twilio node here, and I have it connected to my Twilio account. It's going to send an SMS. It's going to send from my Twilio number, and we're just sending it to this dummy number, 559-555-1234. And for the message, we want to dynamically map this so that the business owner is getting a new message every time with the contents from the call. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this. All right, so this is the text message that the business owner will receive. So The caller, Jane Smith, is calling to follow up on a proposal she sent and provides her phone number for a callback. Here's the phone number that she provided, 555-1234. She did not provide an email address, which is why it comes across as null. But you can see over here on the left-hand side that under structured data, this is where all that information comes from. So we would just drag and drop whatever fields that we want to pass along in the message from the schema on the left. Okay, now what I want to do is do a test call so that you can see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this workflow on so that when the call concludes, all of the conversation, all of the data from that gets sent to this webhook, and you can see me receive a text message in real time because I went ahead and inputted my phone number just so you can see how it works. So going back over to the original workflow, I'm going to go ahead and trigger a call. Right now, like I mentioned, it has some pinned data in here, which includes my phone number. And so we're going to just do a test call so you can see how it sounds.
Hey, this is Lindsay. Sorry I missed you. I'm going to have my assistant give you a call right now.
Hello?
Hi, this is Brenda calling from XYZ Business. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Lindsay asked me to give you a call because she's with another client. How can I assist you today?
Oh, great. I'm actually calling to follow up on the meeting that she and I had the other day. I wanted to hear her thoughts.
Would you like to leave a message for Lindsay? If so, could you please provide your name and a brief message?
Yeah, my name is Jan, and I just wanted to call and if I could get an update on what her thoughts were, if we can move forward with the plan, that would be great. Yeah, she can reach me at 559-123-4567, and my email address is jan@example.com.
Thank you for that information, Jan. I will make sure Lindsay received your message regarding the update on your meeting. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome, Jan. I'll pass along your message. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, so there was the call. And if we come back over to this other workflow, we can see that that execution just happened. And then I just received a text message that says, message, the caller, Jan, is following up on a previous meeting with Lindsay, yada, yada, yada. So there is the message. So basically that business owner could be in a meeting or out in the field doing a sales presentation with a potential customer. Or if it's a photographer, they could be at a shoot. If it's a coach or a therapist, they could be working with the client. But the point being, there is an actual touch point with somebody that's speaking to them on the phone. It's not just being texting back some generic response that's going to feel impersonal. There's a personal touch every step of the way, from the moment that they call and hear the business owner's voice saying, hey, let me have my assistant give you a call right back, to that phone call taking place within 5 seconds. And if you fail to see how a system like this could be worth $500 to $1,500 a month, let me tell you, as someone who works for a home services business where our average ticket is $7,500, the cost of missing one call a month and being able to turn that one call into a paying customer would have an ROI several times over just in that one customer. Okay, and since you stuck around, I'm going to tell you how I would go about packaging and pricing this. So like I just mentioned, this is great for home services, coaches, therapists, photographers, any business where they're the owner operator and take phone calls from leads. But go to where these people hang out. Like for home services, I work for an insulation company. So you can go to home shows, go visit them at their office, or just give them a call. And when they don't answer and it goes to voicemail, you have a perfect in to say, hey, if I were a lead, I would be calling the next guy on the list right now. Do you want to give my AI voice assistant a try? You can have it for free this first month and see how you like it. And then we can talk about if you want to get on a long-term plan. Because honestly, putting this whole system together is not that time consuming. And what'll happen is if you get in with one business, especially if it's someone in the trades, like roofers, plumbers, electricians, insulation companies, they know other business owners because they work with them closely. And so if I were going to approach a business owner, I would say, hey, I want you to try out this system. I think it can really help you. I want you to try it completely for free, no strings attached for 30 days. If you like it, then and only then will we talk about what this looks like on a long-term basis. And what I ask for in return is a testimonial video with your honest opinion. If it was helpful, if you hated it, it'll take 5 minutes and that's my only ask. This could save you thousands. What's the average ticket or what's the cost of losing a customer for you? So if it's anything like the company that I work for, where the average customer spends $7,500 if they become a paying customer with us, and our average close rate is 40%. If we have 2 missed calls in a month and both of those people would have otherwise booked an appointment with us, that mathematically means that we lost out on at least $7,500 in revenue. So if I'm talking to a business owner, I'm saying, if I could save you $7,500 in revenue, is this something that you'd be interested in and would consider? And of course, they're going to say yes, unless they're completely incompetent. But the same thing with coaches or therapists. A coach, maybe they have like a $10,000 package. And so the cost of missing a call from a lead is incredibly valuable. Same thing with a photographer. If it's a wedding photographer, it could be upwards of $10,000 for a wedding photography package. But the point is really getting to the root of what is a customer valued in your business. And if I can help you get more of those customers to save the leads that are already trying to do business with you, what do you have to lose? And again, the only thing the business owner has to do is turn on call forwarding on their phone, which is clicking a few buttons. So let's say the business owner tried it for a month for free and they were absolutely thrilled. No call went unanswered. They had appointments booked automatically. They had important messages passed to them via text or email. Then you can come back and say, okay, so we know that you saved 2 potential customers. One of them ended up closing. So that's an additional $7,500 in revenue for you. So this system is going to cost you $1,000 per month. It's simply on a month-to-month basis. You can decide you don't want to do it anymore at any time. So that takes the risk off the table for the business owner. If it ever becomes not valuable for them in their opinion, they can just say, I don't want this anymore. But if the cost is $1,000 and they are saving one whole customer, that means they're still coming out $6,500 ahead. That's a no-brainer. And if you really want to speak the same language as the business owner, again, using my 9 to 5 as an example, then you can say, okay, so you would make $6,500. What's your net profit? That's music to a business owner's ears because, for example, in a home service business, you don't make 100% of the profit from your revenue. Like you have costs like labor, materials, etc. So let's say the net profit is 17%. So $6,500 times 17%. So the net profit from that job that you won because you didn't have a missed call is $1,100, which is more than what I'm charging you. So even if you only saved one job per month, which is likely to be a lot more than that if they're suffering from missed calls, then it's still worth it financially. Moreover, it's going to be a reputational boon to them because they're not going to be like, oh, this business never answers my calls. So it's more than just the financial ramifications. And you can adjust that number up or down. If it's a business where a customer is worth less than $7,500, you can charge $500 a month or $750 a month, whatever the case is. But the point is you want to determine what is the cost of a missed customer because that's the problem you're solving. And so you want to price that accordingly. And that's the difference between being a freelancer that just builds this thing by the hour and an AI consultant who is a partner in a project like this and delivers systems and results. So now you've got the full build. And here's what to do next. Download my free AI consultant roadmap and learn how to turn builds like this into a $10,000 a month AI consulting business. The missed call to callback system is just one of dozens that business owners will pay you for. And once you've got this in your toolkit, you're not just a freelancer getting paid by the hour. You're an AI consultant earning high-ticket income and retainers by delivering systems and results. So hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next video.